So, you want to know how to make a pocketed asym. What that will do for you is get better kilojoule amounts out of your weapon and also increase the moment of inertia that your weapon generates. So first off, I'm going to show off what I mean exactly so that you get why it's better. We'll load up Gym 5, which is one of my own robots. As you can tell, there are no holes in this weapon. It is a completely flat brick of metal, basically. It is 22mm hardox on the slider. And as we spin it up, you will see that the mass of it is 45 kilograms, just about. It's generating about 65 kilojoules of energy, and it's got a moment of inertia of 1.7. Now, when we go to Gym 6, which is the next version of this robot, you will see it has big holes in the center. So basically the idea is that the more mass you cut away near the center, the more the mass will have to move to the sides to still be the same weight as before. So, as you can see here, still 45.1 kg. We'll spin it up. You can already tell the moment of inertia is higher. It's 2.3 here. That's because more mass is near the edge. And as you can see, the energy is significantly higher, even though we're spinning slightly slower. This is also because there's more mass at the edge. Basically, it's free kilojoules and free moment of inertia. It's free real estate. You really should be doing this for your asyms if you want to get more power out of them. So, now I will show you how to do this, which is much simpler than the shell tutorial that we did last time. So, first off, we're going to delete the custom shapes from that, because god, that was a pain in the ass. So, we go here, and I like to start my asyms with a tooth like this, or like this. For this one, I'm going to try it like this for a change. Actually, no, I'm not going to do that. We're going to do this, because usually I end up shrinking the asym in this direction, so that means that the tooth will be a shallower angle anyway. So, first of all, I turn snap off. And this is where a lot of people might be like, yeah, well, I can fucking figure that out, done. Well, shit out of luck, bro. Like, I don't know. I don't have a easy snap version of this. I guess we can give it a go here. We can do something like that. Hey, that's actually pretty good. Okay, well, here we go. And then we do something like, no, hold on. We do something like, freestyling out here. Okay, we do something like that. Sure. It looks much nicer if you do this with snap off. I'll show off Gym 6 afterwards. But you can also do it like this. So then we do. Yeah, this is why snap is just going to look like shit. Keep that in mind as you do this tutorial. It will look worse. We'll do something like this. You want this side to be thicker than the rest of the shape of the weapon, because that way your weapon also gets to be more asymmetrical, which is good for you. Guess we'll do something like that. That's gonna look weird, but I think it'll look okay. Yeah, as you can tell, this is not ideal. We'll roll with it, but this is basically what it's coming down to. We'll do a nicer one afterwards. We'll have the easy one at the first part of the video instead of the wrong way around like last time. So, we got this. Game's generating a nice profile. This all looks correct. So we will call this asym outside. Now, what you need to keep in mind is that you go back here real quick to take a screenshot of this. That's what I do anyway, because that makes it easier for me. So on my second screen, I can have a screenshot of the shape. If you don't have a second screen, I mean, I guess you're shit out of luck again. Sorry. Actually, what am I doing here? Okay, yeah. So, you can just either remember the shape that it had, or take a screenshot, save it somewhere, toggle back to it, you know. Keep it in your inventory, so to speak. So right here, you can tell, we got 1, 2, a shape like that, roughly. Obviously, it's not going to perfectly match that, because that's just not really possible. Because the asym shape of that inside will be different than the outside. But we're going to give it our best shot, so We were 1 away from there, then we go up diagonal 1, then 2 before this we stopped, and then we go up 1 and stop in the middle of this one. And we do that over there, I think? Yes. Okay. This one goes down here, and that there. And because this is a shape that you're not going to see all of anyway, it doesn't really matter if you're not perfectly accurate, so I would actually suggest not making just a half. You just make the whole thing. So we do like that, like that, like that, like that. There we go. That looks like something. It sure does. Okay. Let's see here. 5's probably gonna... Yeah, 5 is a pretty okay one. That's good enough. Okay. Asym center. So now we first... I always like to do the outside first so I can get the rough shape of the weapon done. If it places like this, you can just rotate them like so, and now it will actually look like a bar. There you go. So obviously, depending on how big your weapon is, you have to do some rescaling here, but since I am pretty much free to do whatever I want here, I'll just do that. We'll make it realistically big. There we go. Something like that, I guess. I would go a little thinner, like that, maybe. This setup was made for a shell, not an asym bar, as you can tell. I'll make it 0.3, make it nice and thick, nice and chunky. Make it hardox. I'll make it red, because that's the tutorial theme now. Okay, cool. So, what you can do if you're, like, struggling for weight, you can check if you can save some here. As you can tell, it opens up a split here, which you don't want. What if we do 49.5? See, then it's already welded. So if you're running into weight issues, you can do that. You can also just ignore that and stick to the normal numbers, but that's a tip for people who want to mess around with that. And then what you do is you put it in the center. That's the outside done. What are you doing? There you go. And then we put that in the center here. The beauty of making asym shapes in this game is that it's always going to be the attachment point for your, like, moving around and stuff is always going to be perfectly in the center of the center of mass of the shape that you're holding, which is very helpful. I really like that. It makes doing this so much easier. So now we just look for the sweet spot where everything is filled in, which, as I said, might differ a little bit from the actual shape. Yeah, you can tell here. The profile is completely different. So for this, it can just be as simple as making it thinner on this end and making the asym half a little thicker here. So clearly this one's a little botched, but I think you get the idea. So if you do 7.6, it's still going to completely fill it in. And as I will, hold on, as you can see here. Yeah, so this is not perfect, but it's good enough. You've already achieved what you wanted to do, which is hollow out the center of the bar. You can do better. You can do this much better, obviously, but it's good enough. We will get into the tougher one afterwards, which is basically the same idea anyway. But there you go. There's a hollowed out asym. Now, I didn't make another shape to compare it to, but yeah, this will be generating more energy and more moment of inertia than a bar of the same size and same weight, which is good. That's about it, really. Yeah. So I will pull up Gym as an example of a more complicated one. For this one, I used toggle off on the grid. So we got asym outside over here. As you can see, I made sure that the points are going in like a curve. And as you can see, in a curve here as well. A curve over there as well. This just looks nicer. There's no functional difference between this and the method that I just showed you on video, except you're using different points. Feel free to use this shape, by the way. No objections at all. I would love to see more hollowed out asyms because it's just straight up better. We go back here real quick. yeah, that's, I think that's the video. Oh, as you can see, there's still a little hole here. So, we're actually going to address this. Let's go into the custom shape. What if my center of my asym is just not matching up right? What do I do? Done, you absolute bag of something. Let's see here. So, like I said, you probably want the external shape, or not the external shape, this side of the weapon to be a little bit more asym to counteract what's happening on this end. So my guess would be moving this in a little bit as well. I think this might already be it. Let's take a look, shall we? That looks alright. Sure. As you can see, it's already filled in better, I think. Yeah, this side, it only has tiny holes when you put it to 0.6, so let's try 0.62. You can still see a tiny hole there. Yeah, there we go, 6.3. Filled in fully. And 0.7 seems good here. So all I had to do there was make it slightly wider, and now it's perfect. That's it. So if you want to make something really pocketed, I would recommend adding some struts across the top and bottom. So like, you set mirror to Y across your asym shape here. You pull it to the center. This is just for realism. This is not needed. It just looks nice. So you do 0.1, and then probably something like that. I don't know. Just make it look cool. And then make it so that the bars are touching the outside, which is additionally also going to give you a little bit more weld strength. But now, the pocketing is, the weapon would still be significantly more stable in real life, because there is a shape going through the middle that is the same height as the exterior ring, so to speak, ring. This is all really weird to explain. I hope you guys are understanding what I'm saying. Yeah, there you go. This is obviously not the nicest shape, but this is how you do it. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope to see more pocketed asyms in the future, and I will see you for probably another video at some point. Peace.